What's going on, guys? In for the win here, and welcome! Now, we're going to be starting up a new franchise mode. This isn't quite it, though. What I'm doing here is we're going to get you guys' feedback on some things. So, first off, I usually do things pretty similar. I don't have morale meetings on. I don't like waivers on. I turn owner mode off, so that's off. All I usually have on here are computer trades, morale, and salary cap. Now, I don't want that on ever. Now, there's a few things that I want. Now, these are only half the settings that I was thinking about. So basically, I want to get your guys' feedback on if you'd like to see anything more here for the franchise, for this new franchise mode. I already have a team picked out, but we'll get to that a bit later. I need some feedback on that as well. So, yeah, all right. Anyway, I'll just continue as this. But you guys can let me know if you want any other rules and settings. Now, another thing I was thinking here is perhaps some differences here. Perhaps instead of turning injuries off, I find a happy setting that I keep injuries on throughout the entire season. So maybe we have to call guys up from juniors and stuff like that. If it doesn't slow down the game too much, you need to find the right kind of injury setting there. Anyway, I can't even find them here. Probably here, injuries. Yeah, it's on injuries. So maybe keep them on, find, like, adjust the sliders, I'll do some simming on my own, try to find a nice, like, a happy medium, so, like, to make it maybe a bit more harder, maybe a bit more realistic for, like, you know, you have guys popping in and out, and it also give us a cool chance to, I'm just going to hit start here because I want to check some stuff out. Also give us a cool chance to see, you know, guys in the juniors having to step up. Line changes will take a lot longer, so I will have to edit a lot more, most likely, because most people don't like to check. Unless they're, like, done really quickly and I don't have to do, like, overhaul certain things. Like, that won't be too bad. Minor injuries, you know, sometimes if you have depth guys, you just go, you know, assistant coach replaces player. And if it's only for a game or so, you know, maybe it's not a big deal. Or you can just change the 5-on-5s. But, you know, if you want to min-max as much as possible, that will, you know, obviously be a bit crazier in that sense. So, definitely seasons may take a bit longer and such, but it could be a more in-depth type franchise mode in that kind of way. Now, we could also come up with some, like, custom rules, stuff like that. But you guys, like, again, I don't really have any ideas for that. I'm sure some of you guys can. I know some people have been asking me for gameplay, so what I could also do is, like, play one game out of each season or something like that. Maybe just, like, well, playing a preseason game is kind of worthless because you're just playing against scrubs. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. Play, like, the first game of the season or some random game in the middle. Yeah, just to, like, so we can get to know our team on the ice, things like that. Just some ideas that I've been, you know, hearing from you guys, and I'm trying to improve my franchise modes for all the viewers out there and see how I can make them better, more enjoyable for wider audiences. So that's where I'm coming from right here. Now, another thing I want to touch base on is the team I'm going to be doing is the Quebec Nordiques. We're going to be recreating them. Now, what we want to consider is, are we going to relocate a team here manually, or are we going to do another 32-team expansion? Now, I don't like the idea of the 32-team expansion because it starts you back the expansion drafts, all the rosters get reset, that kind of thing. I do prefer perhaps doing relocation. Now, the obvious teams that stand out are, like, teams maybe like Colorado who might stand out a bit. The thing is about them, they're still a pretty young team. They have a lot of good, like, elites. They have a lot of you know, decent things in a lot of different places. Actually, Calgary was the one I started on because they are, again, another idea. Like, sure, they have some pieces in place, but they also got some aging guys, some guys who aren't, you know, quite there. Some guys who are elite that are getting better, sure, but you could definitely do some retooling with them. They don't have a goalie prospect whatsoever, so they would be kind of an interesting team. So, but I mean, Calgary, would they be relocated? No, like, you have to consider what kind of team would be relocated in that sense. Like Carolina, stuff like that. Maybe this is a team that gets relocated. But, you know, it all depends. I'm not too sure. Dallas, the thing about Dallas is they're kind of ridiculously stacked. They have been for the past couple of years in all these games. They are ridiculously stacked. So you almost, it's kind of weird. But yeah, there's a few options here that we could do for, like, any sort of a relocation. And we could do division realignment, stuff like that. But that's more or less what I was leaning towards, was some kind of a relocation. Or you can, yeah, I don't know. Bunch of it, I don't know. You guys can let me know. Or you guys can just say, no, we don't like that idea. Just choose another team or something like that. But that's kind of what I've been leaning towards. Now, like, those are the two obvious options, the 32-team expansion, or, we create the team and relocate a different team. Another interesting idea would be a team like Edmonton, because with the current events happening, they're not having too much fun. Now, again, they're pretty freaking stacked in a lot of ways already. You got McJesus, who's gonna be the fun thing though is like you have to deal with that contract, so that's kind of an interesting thing. Same with Draisaitl, you'd have to deal with those two contracts. Like that would make it pretty hard initially. And the thing, I know people may be salty though about Edmonton being relocated, but all for the sake of fun, that's an idea. They have quite a few assets here, goaltender wise. All they really have, I think, is Talbot. Yeah, for the most part. So yeah, give me relocation ideas, anything like that. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, I'm open to any and all suggestions, guys, really. Now, it's obviously not going to be like an entire vote because I don't really know what we're even voting on. But yeah, what am I trying to say here? I'm doing this all live. I could have edited this up, but I wanted to make more of an interactive type thing here and not like, here are your options, do this like I have in some. I will do that for the Vegas one. We'll have a vote for a new team and stuff like that. But for this one, I wanted to use like another made-up kind of team, but maybe not do the expansion thing again. If we did maybe have rules for it, like we have to, I don't know, like for some like a team like Quebec, maybe have this thing where it's like we have to have success in the first few years or something like that because, Quebec can't stand another crappy hockey market and current events, something like that. Something to make this a bit more interesting and a bit more different than I've done in the past. Whereas, especially in this game, because with all these late, like the draft steals and stuff like that, you can get ridiculous amount of assets pretty quickly like we have in Vegas. So, yeah, Columbus may be another option for relocation, but again, they're a really young team, pretty set already. So it's almost, you kind of have to find like a weird team that would sort of make sense to relocate, but also kind of be interesting to play as well. So we're looking for a very odd mix here that you don't normally find. Another option, perhaps Anaheim. Now, sure, they have some young talent, but Getzlaf and Perry, both 32. Kessler, 33. Fowler, they got some young defensemen, some young prospects, but you check it out. Lindholm, Fowler, that's good. Richie, Red Elite, 81 overall. There's no guarantee this guy gets any good. Couple top sixes in the system, some top sixes. Not huge amounts here, really, when you're looking at it. They're not a huge amount. I mean, Montour, this guy maybe gets to top 6, 77-23. Yeah, maybe he gets up top 6, So this is actually I didn't even consider this. And then sure you have Gibson, who could get pretty damn good. But damn. I'm looking at Anaheim. They look pretty good. I mean, that's actually nice. Finding a goalie is usually the hardest part, but 24 years old, I mean, you have that guy for a while for sure. Definitely. So this is kind of one of those teams that's something similar to this would maybe work. And, Anaheim doesn't have the biggest market, so we'd have to do divisional realignment, send Detroit or Columbus back to the Central or something like that. And I know that caused a lockout, and that would never happen in real life. But hey, for the sake of this game, something like that could happen. So I don't want to limit ourselves to one conference in that sense. I definitely want to give ourselves open options. So Anaheim definitely, in my eyes, seems like a good fit. Calgary, Edmonton, both possibilities, but may not make a whole lot of sense. Moving Canadian team, in that way, they're both still selling tickets and shit, even if everyone in Edmonton kind of hates life right now and how things are going. But yeah, let's check out Minnesota. Would be maybe another interesting option here. So let's see. Yeah, they got Granlund, Brodin are the two major prospects here. Or not even, yeah, they're really the only prospects. Oh, they have nothing. Wow, they really have nothing there. And then Suter, yeah, they got those ridiculous contracts on Suter and Parise for just stupid amounts that you have to deal with. And I don't know if you'll be able to move those. Oh, man, look at those freaking things. Ugh. Horrible things to deal with. But yeah, I'm not too sure how Minnesota, what they're looking like in a relocation standpoint. But again, we don't have to make it completely realistic. We could choose whatever the hell we want if that suits you. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just kind of figuring out where I want to go. I'm also waiting for some stuff to be made. Just cosmetic stuff, thumbnail stuff. That just looking for some help with that kind of stuff to make it look more professional. Because my thumbnail, I'm not a graphic designer. At the end of the day, I'm far from it, and it's one less thing for me to have to worry about. And it's a big weight off my shoulders. But yeah, when we take a look at these rules, what else? What else? So we can, have injuries on the whole time and try to mess with some other stuff and maybe play. If you guys want me to try waivers, I could try that. But that would be pretty. I don't know how the waiver system works too much in this game. I've tried it before, like on my own in NHL 17. I didn't like it. It seemed to slow it down a lot, and it was kind of weird. And it didn't. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. But we can always do stuff like that. So, the hell is this? Oh, all right. Those are just in-game stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right there. I'm not too sure. I would love to give you guys as much area, whatever. Oh my God, words are hard. As much freedom to help me decide what we're gonna do here. Obviously, I'm gonna have like the last choice, but I want to see this comment section filled up to the brim of like ideas to how to make this like more interesting, more interactive for you guys as well. So if you have any ideas of how you guys can be more of a part of it, that would be awesome as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But it's looking, I'm gonna take a look at some more of these teams again. We could look at some more, but yeah. I'm really liking how Anaheim was looking, as well as Minnesota, kind of. They'd be challenging. Definitely challenging. Florida, too many elites, I think. Like, too many young, good talent. Like, I don't want to pick a team who's, like, just completely, like, easily, like, already good. Like, that's... I mean, I could, but really, I don't know. I feel like they don't need much help. They kind of always get good. But, yeah. I don't know. What would be a small market that would maybe make sense to move? It could be interesting here. New Jersey, I know they have a pretty small market. They've got some decent players. They got Heischer now. They got Hall. But maybe that's really all they have. How about in the system? It's a few top six, not a bunch. A couple top sixes. Goaltender-wise, they don't have too much. Yeah, they don't have anyone in the system, and Corey Schneider is, getting up there. So this could be one of those teams where you move a small market to a larger market, and you try to have that initial good success immediately because we're in Quebec, The franchise didn't succeed the first time. That's what we're going for. That's kind of the story that I feel like building. You guys can let me know if you want something different, but that's kind of a neat little story I had in mind. Started off like, try to have some success early and then kind of worry about retooling. Then do that. At least, get that hockey market back up. Compete with Montreal. Compete with Ottawa. Stuff like that. So that's at least what I'm trying to do. Have a more, like, interactive. Have a more, like, we're building more of a world, basically. Instead of, like, okay, we're taking this team. We're going to do this and this with it. I can draft some people. I can trade for some awesome players. Blah, 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 blah. So... you guys let me know what you think about all that kind of stuff, definitely. And again, all the settings, if you want to see different stuff on. I don't necessarily want to do owner mode, but if there's overwhelming support, I can give it another go. It just seemed tedious to me, and it didn't seem to add a whole lot to the game besides relocation. But like I said, we can just do that manually. Replace a team, create a team, replace the Devils with them. Just have all the rosters like that. Yeah. But yeah, looking at this team, they got some decent stuff. Yeah, they definitely have a bunch of top forwards and stuff, but nothing like that really, really stands out. All right, who else? I'm just trying to... Islanders are always pretty stacked. I mean, they got John Tavares here. Plus Barzal, yeah. I mean, well, their center core is stacked at least. But other than that, they definitely would need some work in some areas. How are they looking defensively? Oh, need a lot of work defensively, yeah. And then goaltender-wise, they got Greiss and Halak. And how are you doing for prospects? Well, they got the Soderstrom guy who's all right, but he's only a starter. Islanders, maybe New York's only big enough for two teams, Buffalo and these ones, Islanders maybe. I don't know. I'm liking it, though. How about Philly? How shit they're doing. I don't know if you could ever move a team out of Philly, but... plus, I kind of just did these guys, so I'm not as keen. All right, San Jose... oh, perhaps an option. I mean, they definitely are on the older side of things. I've never would consider San Jose to be relocated. But hey, maybe you guys know, like, maybe this is what you guys want to see. And maybe make it less hard for me to make tough decisions if we move the squad. Who knows, man? But there are some tough things. Like, I mean, Burns is on a ridiculous contract, as is Vlasic. You know, crazy contracts for these two guys. So definitely challenging. And this is definitely, we're obviously in win now mode. So this would be definite possibility to make work. Definite possibility to make work. But the thing is, they're not like immediately ready. They definitely need a tiny bit of retooling to get some more offense in some places. Defensively, they're pretty stacked. I mean, could get a bit better in the top 4. But other than that, oh wow, Heed and Ryan, they did them dirty. I would have to fuck with the rosters though, because I watched this team. Ryan, I'd move him up probably to about a 78. He's not amazing yet. I'd keep him, maybe change him to a top 6, move him up to 78ish overall. Heed, I think he just deserves to be in his 80s, like near Braun. Like he's been amazing this year. They did him dirty in this. Let's see. Yeah, he's an offensive threat. Like he's an amazing offensive threat. Man. Yeah, they did him pretty dirty in this. But I mean, I've had the privilege of watching his development for the past few years in San Jose. So yeah, I've known what him and Ryan have been capable of, and I've just been waiting. I thought they were gonna crack the roster last year, but this year was it. Yeah. Anyway. Yapping about the Sharks here. That's what happens. The thing again, like they have Joner, who's done pretty dirty in this game too, but hey, whatever. 86 for Joner, in my opinion, is a bit low, but you guys can chime in on that. And we don't have anyone else. They had no one else. Dell, they finally actually gave him good backup stats. He's a phenomenal backup, by the way. They finally at least made him an 80 overall. But yeah, no goalies in the system. There's really lacking a system here in San Jose. Look at this. No prospects. No one. They got like Jeremy Roy, or however I don't know. But wait. Oh, they did Balser so dirty. He's a bottom 6. Rip. Rudolph's is a bottom 6. I know he's taken in the 5th round, but anyway. He was like one of the top scorers in the juniors last year. Rip Balser. So, yeah. Anyway, there is an option. I'm just kind of going through. I'm just taking a look at a lot of these teams here to see what may work here. St. Louis don't make a lot of sense to move, and doesn't make a lot of sense with that team. So I'm just moving off them. Tampa Bay, same kind of deal. They're freaking amazing. Toronto will never move. Vancouver, same kind of deal. They got, and obviously Vegas. Washington. Interesting option. Ovechkin, Backstrom on the older side. Definitely kind of a win now type team, but they have a pretty damn big fan base there, I'm pretty sure. But hey, again, another option. How's their system looking? Couple top 6 guys. Vrana, Burakovsky, not bad. Orlov, Bowie looking decent. Anyone in the system? No real big system there. All right, so okay. Not too bad. Definitely kind of has what we're looking for. Holtby, 28, so he's not as old, but I mean, he's actually kind of good in that sense. You could at least have a decent tendy, but I mean, if you're trying to tank, then you trade this guy. Like, you let him play out his prime elsewhere obviously after your little win now period. Yeah, no real system. This is going to be a tough turnaround for this team. So, all right, Washington is another idea there, but would they be relocated? I'll have to see. Now, again, it's not going to be an official vote, but I want to see what most of you guys would like to say. Oh my God! Again, words are hard. It is late too, and I've got to get up early tomorrow, so I'm trying to be as in depth as possible and get this out there to you guys. And it's a bit different. I usually do like an edited together type thing, but there's a lot to cover right here, and I hope you guys are remembering all of it. But comment as you go. Hopefully you comment as you go. All right, so. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Anaheim is a really good option. I really like the Anaheim option because they're kind of like that team. They do have some elites here. I'm kind of surprised Lindholm. Yeah, Lindholm, Fowler. They're both kind of elites, but Fowler probably doesn't get too much better. Maybe a top 4 for him. Maybe Lindholm gets slightly better, but they're both lefties, so maybe you have to make a decision with one. Like, it's still even some of their good guys, like you have to make decisions on. It seems like. Very interesting though. So Anaheim's a big one that I kind of dug. Carolina could work. I mean, it makes sense for the realism standpoint, but I mean, they're kind of stacked in a lot of ways when it comes to prospects. Yeah, 2 red elites down here. They even got Sorella. Nedjelkovic. They don't really have a goaltender, but that's really all they kind of lack. Yeah, that's kind of really all they lack. Colorado is, again, I think that's just, there's too good. It'd kind of be funny, have them go back to the go back from whence they came, but again, that kind of team, that they're not going anywhere. Like they're building up, man. They're building it up. So Anaheim's a big one. Carolina is a possibility, but not a huge idea. Minnesota was another one of those big ones, I think. What else? New Jersey, and then I think San Jose was a pretty good one, and like Washington. Those are the ones that really stand out. That what could work for what I'm kind of looking to do here to build this story. But again, maybe you guys don't like that story. Maybe you want to start from an expansion. Maybe you want to just pick a different team. But make it a good argument. I want to see you guys talking with each other, making nice comments, and I will read them all as promised. I always read all the comments. I may not always respond to all of them, but I do say I read every single comment that I get, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys for the comments. It helps me a lot. Helps me try to grow as a YouTuber, as a creator. And that's, again, what I'm doing in this video. How can I make my franchise modes better? What do you guys want to see? Gameplay, injuries on, waivers, more in-depth, blah, 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 blah. What do you guys want to see out of it? So, all right, that'll pretty much conclude what I wanted to go over here. And, yeah, so Quebec Nordiques coming back into the NHL. How are they doing? An expansion, relocation. Who's being relocated if that's the case? All right, guys, so let me know what you think. And if you would be so kind, like this video. Give me all those suggestions, though. That is the most important part. So, all right, guys, I will be seeing you guys in a new franchise mode pretty damn soon.